They lied when they told you kindness was weakness. Kindness is not what soft men give. It's what powerful men withhold until it serves them. Because true kindness, real sharpened kindness, is a weapon. It lowers the guard. It hides the edge. It is mercy from a man who does not need to be merciful. And that's what makes it terrifying. You are not feared because you shout. You are feared because you could destroy, and instead you smile. Not out of love, out of leverage, out of strategy, because kindness is not the opposite of strength. It is the final evolution of it. Real kindness doesn't beg to be seen. It does not apologize for its power. It does not shrink in the face of conflict. It stands silent and sharp, like a blade hidden beneath the robe of restraint. Most men today are taught to be agreeable, to seek approval, to smile first and speak last. And they call it kindness. But it's not. It's fear. It's submission dressed as virtue. Because true kindness, the kind that commands respect, is built in silence, in the cold, in rejection, in suffering. It's forged through years of discipline, of restraint, of unspoken fury channeled into focus. A man who has not faced himself, who has not bled, failed, and risen again, cannot truly be kind, because his kindness will be hollow, performative, a disguise for fear of confrontation. But the man who has seen the worst of himself and tamed it, he becomes terrifying in his calm. He becomes rare. He becomes unshakable. And cloaked in a kindness no one dares test. Because behind that kindness is a man forged in fire. And here's what you must remember. Your kindness must be earned. By you, not them. You must bleed for it. Bury your old self for it. Because only then does it stop being kindness and start becoming control. When you've walked through your own hell and come out with discipline instead of excuses, then your kindness becomes divine. Because it is rare, because it is feared, because it is chosen. But you cannot fake it. You cannot speak softly until you've earned the right to be silent. You cannot show mercy until you've proven you don't need any. Most men are kind because they are unarmed. You will be kind because you are loaded. This world respects fangs. And when it sees you smiling with blood still dripping from your teeth, it pays attention. Be the man whose kindness unsettles the room. Be the one they look at and wonder, why is he smiling? Because those who smile the least mean it the most. There will come a day when your silence will terrify a crowd, when your nod will feel like a sentence, when your back turned will feel like exile. And that's when you will know you've mastered the weight of restraint. You've earned the right to choose mercy. You've become the storm and the stillness. You've become untouchable. They'll never say it to your face. But they'll speak your name in rooms you'll never enter. Because the man who is kind without needing to be, he is remembered, he is followed, he is feared. Let the soft men talk about love. Let the weak men talk about fairness. You talk about leverage, about timing, about control. Because love without discipline is weakness, and fairness without power is fiction. Your kindness is not for decoration. It is not for social points. It is not for likes. It is for dominance wrapped in velvet. It is the final test of a man who has mastered the blade and no longer needs to swing it. So wear your silence like armor. Smile like a sharpened knife. And remember, kindness is only beautiful when you've proven you can be a monster without it. You are not here to be beautiful. You are not here to be liked. You are here to win the war. Most men don't even realize they're losing. The war for control, not over others, but over yourself. Until you have mastered your urges, your rage, your softness, every kind act you perform is a lie, a cover, a manipulation, not of others, but of your own weakness. Let them post quotes. Let them talk about how nice guys finish last. You're not trying to finish. You're trying to dominate the race while making it look like a walk. Real kindness doesn't announce itself. It doesn't beg to be seen. It stands in silence and commands attention, because the man who holds back the storm is always more feared than the one who unleashes it. You must become terrifying in stillness, not angry, not explosive, but ready to strike if provoked, ready to walk away if it's smarter, ready to forgive if it benefits you, and ready to burn the entire field if that's what the game demands. Your kindness must be strategic, not a reflex, not a plea, a choice made by a man who has already done the math. That's why most people will never understand you, because they've never felt the weight of true power held in check. They've never looked in the mirror and asked, if I unleashed everything inside me, how many bridges would burn? But you've already answered that. You've mapped the fire, you've memorized the cost, and still you hold the blade, not out of mercy, out of calculation. You don't need the world to know you're dangerous. You only need you to know, because power is quiet, influence is silent, and true strength leaves no fingerprints. You must carry your kindness like a concealed weapon, never drawn in weakness, never used to win affection, only deployed when it wins the war. And the war is constant. It's in the meeting room, it's in the bedroom, it's in the silent glances between competitors who smile like allies. It's in every moment where your image becomes your currency. So what do you show the world? Not your wounds, not your softness, not your need to be liked. You show them control. You show them the man who could burn it all down and doesn't. That's power, that's mystique. That's fear in its highest form. Let others throw punches. You'll tilt your head and measure their reach. Let others argue to be right. You'll calculate what it costs them to speak so freely. Because men like you don't waste energy. You invest it. You weaponize it. And when you finally choose kindness, it lands like thunder, because it is unexpected, because it is unearned, because it means more coming from a man who doesn't owe anyone anything. The monster inside you must be trained, not tamed. Your darkness is not your flaw. It is your fuel, your filter, your silent advantage. Because when the world demands your fury and you give it grace, that's control. And when they realize your kindness was never weakness, but the sharpest weapon you own, they'll never forget you. One day, you'll walk into a room and no one will see the battles you fought. They won't see the nights you bled in silence, the betrayals you swallowed whole, the rage you buried so deep it hardened into strategy. They'll only see your smile, calm, polite, measured, and they'll assume you've always been that way, but you will know. That smile is the final scar. It's the trophy of a war they were never strong enough to survive. That smile is earned. That kindness is lethal, because it doesn't come from innocence. It comes from awareness. You've seen what happens when you give too freely. You've watched people worship your softness only to weaponize it when it suited them. You've learned the hard way that trust is currency, and most people come with counterfeit bills. So now you offer it slowly, not out of fear, but because you understand the value of giving without needing. And in that, you become untouchable. Kindness in your hands is no longer about morality. It is about mastery. You choose when to give. You choose who receives it. You are no longer the man begging to be understood. You are the man they never stop trying to figure out. And if they fear your kindness, good. That means they understand it is not to be taken. It is to be earned. You're no longer playing to be loved. You're playing to be remembered. And men are not remembered for how agreeable they were. They are remembered for what they held back and when. So let this be the final truth. The man who can destroy you and chooses not to, that man owns you because he does not need to prove himself. He is not kind because he's weak. He is kind because he is godlike in his restraint. And when you reach that level, when your kindness causes discomfort instead of comfort, you will know you've become something sacred, something dangerous, something unforgettable. Let the world stay soft. Let them trade truth for likes, comfort for consequence. You will sharpen your silence. You will polish your kindness like a weapon, and you will wear it like a crown of cold fire. Because in the end, kindness is not what makes you good. It is what makes you feared when you no longer need to be.